has an opportunity to do something no one in AEW has done.
Yeah, about to have me some Duckton. What the What the heck? What the heck? I had my mouth. What the
Finish him off! He's calling for it! This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up! He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion! Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see? He got him in a power slam! He got him in a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is the champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get shit, knee deep. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport. The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
A little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Fail! Listen, it's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Little slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips are the biggest size in the WWE! Somebody's got this! Somebody's knock the damn man! Enough's enough!
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, it's live, Hal.
Let the slaughter begin!
reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Number one, to be the man, baby. You have to beat the man. Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun.
Have you ever heard a choke like that in your life?
You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Oh yeah, to all you other wrestling podcasts on YouTube, we are coming for you. In the words of the great Booker T. Shalom MD. Hey Ricardo, can you hear me, Venkat?
Loud and clear.
All right, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host Trevor, and we're back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. Piece of the Nerd Bomb. Hey Ricardo, about time you use that mod stick right. Oh, MD, I did put the link in the chat. I guess we'll repin it. I'm gonna just start emailing it to you.
I'm gonna drop the link.
All right, you what do you want to talk about? Oh, Nerd Bomb, we got a lot to talk about. Today is a momentous occasion over here on the Wrestling with Reality show, because this is the first time ever you're going to get a double header. You are going to get two shows in one. Well, back to back, actually. You're going to get episode 39 and you're going to get our 40th episode, which is probably going to be the one probably get us kicked off or something, but who knows how it is. But we are going to go over the Royal Rumble from this past Saturday. And I mean, not for nothing, nobody has heard my thoughts on the Royal Rumble with the exception of Bones and Zay, because they asked me about it the other day. I don't think we need to spend more than an hour on this Royal Rumble. And we're going to get into the main event to see what everybody really came here for. And that is the epic downfall of one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So we're going to get through this Royal Rumble. We're going to forego the ratings and everything that we normally do. We're going to hop right into this Royal Rumble review show. We're going to close and come back with a new show, because some people are just here for the Royal Rumble review and they don't care about the Vince stuff. So I don't want to have to draw them into all this filth that we're about to get into. But like I was saying, Ricardo, man, by the time you use your moderator stick, I obey his commands. I will let you on this panel if you turn your camera on, because I know exactly who you are. You got to turn your camera on, and that's a new rule going forward on the Straight Talk Society. Nobody can come on this panel if they don't show me their face behind the scenes, because I know exactly who.
It's saying obey his commandments. Nobody is trolling.
Shalom.
Yeah, shalom. Ain't nobody in the world I know talk like. There's one person in the world that I know that talk like that.
And then it says just warning you.
Yeah, just warning me. Yeah, all right. Yeah, warn this. So yeah, so like I was saying, nobody is coming on this channel unless you show me your face. You don't have to have it on the main feed, but you damn sure better have your camera on so I can see what you look like, or so Venkat can see what you look like in the back. But yeah, Ricardo, appreciate that for you timing that person out. I went to his channel. They just created the channel yesterday. So I know it's a troll account. So anything like that you see, just ban them. Anybody with a moderator stick on here, don't even give them any leeway. Just ban them right away, because I know exactly who it is, and I'm not going to give you what you want. So you're completely banned. No matter how many channels you make, we're going to ban and block every last one of them. So there you go. Oh man,
Hey, don't be like that, bro.
nah,
Your
I got to
how
be.
about you?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
how
shower,
about
rock a
you?
thought.
Yeah, whatever. We they can speak. They can't even speak English good, but they can speak Hebrew. Get the hell out of here with that. So I'm joined by the baddest wrestling panel on YouTube, the man, the myth, the legend, Van Cat, and the political prophet MD. What's up, fellas?
Peace, peace.
Peace, peace.
Listen, and I appreciate Straight Talk Society for checking out Tape Fist Politics yesterday. Another fantastic episode yesterday. I kind of feel like Venkat is kind of messing with me though. He don't throw my comments up. He don't read my comments, nothing like that. It's all good.
I put your comments up.
It's all good.
Oh, Lord.
But fantastic show yesterday, and I do appreciate the fact that at one point there was like double digit live viewership in the chat. These guys put on a hell of a show. I literally could come on here and just gas bag and talk crap, but they actually do the research and all that good stuff. So I really appreciate that. I need the show to get out to the masses, and I've tried, and I was sent the email saying, hey, this show ain't gonna get it. We're not pushing this. We're not doing anything for this type of show. So that's what we're up against. But nevertheless, the guys still do a fantastic job. So let's get into this Royal Rumble review so everybody can hear what I think.
Hey, real quick with that, Trevor.
Go ahead.
It's funny to me, and you know, I don't want to sidestep too much. It's funny that we Venkat does such an amazing job, and we try to put together an amazing show with TFP, and you constantly get these stringent disclosures about the channel. Yet yesterday somebody literally showed a severed head on YouTube, and it stayed up for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
That's weird to me.
Yep.
But hey, I digress.
My brother-in-law sent me all these snuff videos and things. I'm like, where y'all getting these from? Like, where y'all getting this? How is this stuff able to? I'm telling you though, like I try to use these hashtag generators and things like that just to see what I could get around for TFP. And it doesn't matter. I could put Democrat, I could put politics, I could put Republican. It doesn't matter what I put in there. You can't use that. It's blocked. We don't allow that. Try another keyword. I try to see what keyword generators I could go through. Nothing. It's just not working. Anything political, it's not working. So we need to just continue to push the show out. I did create a new Facebook channel for the Straight Talk Society again. It's called Welcome to the Society, but when I tried to link StreamYard to it, it said that the channel's too new, so they're not going to let me do it. I got to wait a couple of weeks, which is weird. I never knew they do that. So we'll be streaming to Facebook in a couple of weeks. They won't.
What
even
about Instagram?
The Instagram thing is too hard. You have to manually do it, so it's not like this where you just hit go and it streams. Yeah, you gotta manually do it. You gotta type in the key, and it only allows an hour. It doesn't allow the whole show to stream. So,
I gotta take that off my thing because I have Instagram logo on.
Yeah,
TFP.
That's why I tried to do it, and I was like, I'm not. This is just too much labor and intense for this. So yeah, so that's that. And lastly, we do offer channel memberships now. I know you guys have heard it on the various shows that you watch on YouTube. Hey, as simple as this, we provide you with like banging content. And I'll never get rich off of this, so don't think that you're making me get rich, because that's not gonna happen. You know, I go to work 50 plus hours a week for that. So it's just to help out with the cost of the channel. We do all the paid versions of everything, you know, and and we do a lot of content. So it's just to help out. You know, I need to get new plans where I could get more managers so these guys could do their own shows outside of me having to do it because I'm tired. And speaking of new shows, we do have a new show that was supposed to debut Saturday, but they're going to do it next week. One of the most popular shows on the channel is Straight Talk MMA. And Zay came up with an idea yesterday that I loved. So next Saturday, we are going to debut our own Pardon the Interruption style MMA show entitled 5 Rounds with the MMA Brothers. So basically what this show is going to be, they're going to go over 5 topics, just what it says, 5 topics timed 5 minutes around, kind of just like if you watch Pardon the Interruption, it is the exact same thing. So the show shouldn't go more than 30 minutes. When they presented it to me yesterday, I was like, oh man, that's a great idea. You guys know I've been trying to branch out in different things. I want to start doing the movie reviews and things like that. So yeah, so whatever is a fresh idea that's going to bring, you know, new content to the channel. So that's going to be next Saturday sometime, and it's something that they could do in the studio. So I wouldn't even look for that to be live, but it will be pushed out next Saturday. So
that's a great idea.
So with all that being said, let's get into the Royal Rumble. So before we get into the Royal Rumble, because we're gonna go over it, and nobody's heard what I gotta say about the Royal Rumble, real quick, what were you guys' thoughts on just the show period?
Go ahead, MD.
I think it was a good show. Again, I mean, you know, the bulk of the time went to where it was supposed to go, and that was the Rumbles. Overall, you know, if I'm gonna give it a score overall, I say it was a 4. That's me.
All right, MD gave it a 4. Going over 4 out of 5. For me, you guys heard me say in the show last week, I'm just hoping for mid-card. I'm just hoping that it's not an epic disaster and it doesn't happen like what it did in 2022 when that show was completely panned, that Royal Rumble show. For me, I'm just going to give it a 3. I think I'm going to stay in the mid-card zone. It didn't blow my socks off. It didn't do anything, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. It was just decent. I think that the match, the triple threat match, came out a lot better than a normal Roman Reigns match because of obvious reasons. You have AJ Styles that is there to weather some of the lack of excitement. You have Randy Orton. He's just amazing. And then LA Knight, which I think he was the MVP of that match. I think LA Knight, I mean, he did his thing in that match. You can talk bad about LA Knight, didn't ring work, but he was working in that match. I thought he did a pretty good job. Yeah, but the event, overall, I'm mid-carding 3.
All right. I didn't watch the show live because I was at the circus, and I'm at the circus like, man, I wish I'm missing the Royal Rumble, man. I want to be home watching the Royal Rumble. And I was at SmackDown the night before, and they gave us such a tremendous show. It was so hyped. Y'all be sure to check out my review that I did after that show. For me, and this is as honest as I could put it, I was not happy at all with the Royal Rumble. I was so hyped up for that. I was saying that this was going to be one of the best Royal Rumbles that I've ever seen. I was thinking that this Royal Rumble was going to set WWE up to clearly just blow everybody out of the water in 2024. And what I saw Sunday morning, when I watched it Sunday morning, a lot of it I was just like, man, I'm so disappointed. The women's Rumble went exactly how I planned, exactly how I said it.
To the T. It kind of pissed me off.
I knew the Jade's. I knew when Jade was coming out. It just shocked me because I didn't know her theme music. So, but I'm like, yeah, Nia's wrecking everybody. It's time to break glass for Jade. The men's Rumble, Cody winning. I mean, we'll get into it, but Cody winning. I mean, it could have been either way. Good thing they probably didn't go with the pick of who they probably was going to pick, because we'll get into the injury later. But and I will say this, because I'm as honest as you could get. I will say that this is probably the worst Roman Reigns match that I've ever seen. I thought that match was just boring and just not good. It was sloppy. I thought Randy Orton was legitimately injured, because even from that night before a SmackDown, he was holding his arm, and he didn't do too much in this match that I could remember. See, because there's nothing for me to remember in the match. I remember the triple threat with John Cena, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar. Tremendous triple threat.
But that's a high bar though, Trevor.
Yeah, but the Royal Rumble, you got AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns.
AJ Styles came to play, and LA Knight came to play. Randy Orton having an injury.
I didn't see it. To me,
I thought that all the notable things that were happening in the match was due to them.
But what was notable though? That's what I'm saying. Like, what was notable?
It wasn't that bad. Like,
they got to take the belt off of Roman. I mean,
he's horrible. But I said that and then got crucified for some reason last week when I said what I said. But again, this match, as bad as you may feel about it, is way better than the last at least 5 or 6 matches that I've seen Roman Reigns. There's not that much matches he's had. He's just horrible.
Yeah, well, I think his Cody match was awesome, but let's get I give it a 3. I mean, I thought that it was going to be over a 4. Like, I was really saying, like, man, this may be my first 5 of the year. No, I can't even give it a 4, because to me, I didn't like it, and everybody knows, to a man, I was like, man, the Royal Rumble is going to be it, man. I'm just touting. I wanted Royal Rumble, because that's my favorite event. To me, it just didn't deliver. The women's match was sloppy as all outdoors. We're going to get to that now, but I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was any good.
Well,
and that bothers me.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. But one of the biggest things that I'm not hearing enough people talk about is McAfee coming out here. It seemed some people are saying he's a replacement for Brock Lesnar, but Braun Breaker might have been.
Breaker was a replacement.
But I mean, McAfee, that was such a throwaway entry. You could have put anybody in there. Yeah, that was silly. That was not needed.
Yeah,
matter of fact, they need to ban any announcer. No announcers in Royal Rumble anymore. Stop that nonsense. That's just not.
I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that there was no old guys coming in. I was thoroughly.
I think that would have been an improvement.
Well, yeah, over McAfee being in there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, because if you at least you would have gotten a nice pop, hearing a guy you hadn't seen in a while, and some of these old guys could still go. So it would, look at what the ovation Booker T got last year. I mean, that's a better moment than McAfee coming out there. I don't know what the hell that was.
Hey, so the guy that was posing as the Yahweh whoever is now calling me because they use these things where they just they can make their phone numbers switch. So now he's talking about let one half naked lady show, then you're getting reported. Report the channel, queer. Report it, you queer.
This guy seems to be operating on that Lagos, Nigeria model.
And I know YouTube, exactly who it is too. And if nothing gave it away more, because at first I'm like, man, who is this? Nothing gave it away more than for them sending me a message last week, because I don't normally read the messages, but I read that one. And when I'm reading it, I'm like, man, there's only one person I know that talks like this. So I know exactly who it is. But nevertheless, let's get into the women's Rumble. So the list of entrants, you had Natalya came in first. Then you had the return of Naomi, which I mean, we knew that was going to happen. Bailey came in at number 3. I don't have all of them. I just got the more notable entrants. Candice LeRae was number 4. The surprise of the night was Jordynne Grace, the Impact champion. She came in at number 5, and she had a tremendous showing she had a tremendous showing in the event. There you have Naomi coming in. Shout out to Bones in the building, newest member of the Straight Talk Society Soldiers. That's what we call in the membership, Straight Talk Society Soldiers. Naomi came in at number 2. Jordan Grace came in at number 5. So that was a surprise. Bianca Belair came in at number 10. Even Bianca didn't look crisp at all in this match. Like it just everything she did, it was just like a bunch of waiting around. Like this Rumble, the women's Rumble was so sloppy. I think the spot of the night in the women's Rumble was Bianca eliminating Jordan Grace with the TKO on the apron. That was the best thing. I would have liked Jordan to last in the final 4 just because, you know, and it looks like they're going to be doing more crossover between Impact and WWE because Naomi is actually wrestling Jordan tomorrow on Impact for the belt. So
this is great stuff. They need to do more of that. I know Triple H went off about the whole Forbidden Door thing, trying to insult AEW again and saying how silly it is to do a Forbidden Door. But this was great to see a person from another organization, even though it's not as high profile as WWE, it's still known. She came out with a belt, for God's sakes. I thought that's awesome. We need more of that in wrestling.
Yeah, that was great that she came. I when I saw it, I'm like, man, that was awesome. That was
and what was great about it was the announcers acknowledged not only TNA but her and being the champion, because how long ago was it that they wouldn't even say TNA?
Yeah,
it was literally TNA was treated the way AEW is treated today. So I don't think there's a problem. They should say it. And with Vince McMahon gone, maybe that mindset will go away.
MD there? MD there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. To me, the best performance in the Rumble was Jordan Gray. That's my opinion.
I agree.
You know what I mean, she came in a high amount of energy. With her initial spots, and they gave her time, and again that KOD on the apron, that was probably one of the best moments. To me, I wasn't too much really focused. I think the women's Rumble carried the show. That's my opinion. To me, it wasn't necessarily about what was going on in the ring from a work aspect. It was more about the moments, and the women's Rumble had the best moments of the entire night, which gave me to bump it to a 4. You know what I mean?
You agree with me though? You would have liked to see Jordan in the final 4, right?
Yeah.
These guys not going to do.
She deserved it.
They're not going to do that. These guys are.
I knew they weren't going to do it. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh man, shout out to Christopher Morales. If I'm not mistaken, Chris was actually there. If I'm not mistaken, and he's saying the women's Rumble was better than the men's Rumble. See, I thought the women's Rumble was just really sloppy. So again, I don't have all the entrants. I just listed them in the order, like who was actually made an impact. So number 19 comes the Wrecking Machine, Nia Jax. There was a lot of just like laying around too, man. And Nia just comes in and starts wrecking people. That's what I love. Becky Lynch was 21. Then the comedy spot of the night, you had R-Truth coming in saying that he was like, oh, he was in the wrong Rumbles. I mean, R-Truth got a job forever just because he's great. Nia Jax eliminated him. So I called it the spot that I just knew. I'm like, hey, they're going to fill up the ring. A bunch, even my wife was there watching, and she's like, man, there's a lot of them in the ring. I said, oh, don't worry, because guess what they're about to do? I said, Nia's going to wreck everybody. Jade's going to come in, and what do you believe? I know Venkat was like, damn it, he was right. Number 28, Jade Cargill. Now, her song, I don't know her music, so when they said there's a storm coming, I didn't even hear that part. I'm just like, damn, who is this? When she came out, loudest pop of the night. Chris, you were there in person. You could tell, you could co-sign me. On my TV, Jade got the loudest reaction of the night. Just, I mean, instant superstar. She came out. She couldn't hold Nia for that slam, but just watching her out there in the WWE ring just looked It felt good. And oh boy, did they work to the spot that I said it, that all this was going to work is just for the face-to-face for Jade and Bianca to stand in front of one another. You see Jade got her up for the fireman's carry, but we knew that this was the money shot that they wanted to get. Jade and Bianca just having a stare off, and Corey Graves on commentary was like, look, it's the Spider-Man meme. Because that's what I've always been saying. Bianca needs somebody to come in and just wreck her. And Jade is the person that should do it, because it's like they're literally looking at one another. They never touched. They didn't have to. The fans.
No, yes, they do have to. Yes, they do.
They're going to touch at Mania. They didn't.
No, even Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior touched. That was a letdown.
They did not have to touch, because you listen to those fans. Those fans know what's coming. The only thing I didn't like about this, is Bianca has got to stop doing the smiling like she's about to cry because of the moment. Like, come on, man, just stop doing that. Just stop. But besides that, they worked it to perfection. MD, I know you a Jade Cargill fan. What were your thoughts on Jade? And she didn't hold Nia for the slam. Nia actually had to help herself out.
She held the rope.
That was sloppy too.
I mean, I guess, give an A for effort. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, yeah, you were right, man. This is the moment right here, man. I think they did it like well. I don't think it was a reason for them to do anything but just look and just hold it off. Now, I don't know what the route is going to be as far as like if we're talking about WrestleMania, because like where does Nia Jax fit in and all of this? I remember you saying that you believe it's going to be Becky and Rhea at WrestleMania. So that would take out Becky and Nia Jax and continuing their rivalry. So, my only question would be where does Nia Jax fit in? You know what I'm saying? Because eventually she gonna want some get back at some point in time. That and
elimination chamber. You
think they're gonna put Jade in Australia at eliminate? I don't think so. I think the next time we see Jade in the ring is WrestleMania. That's me.
No, you're gonna see her. No, you're gonna see her in the ring. You're gonna see her in the ring before that. Hey, just a quick update, because this is funny to me. The guy that came in the chat, he's now sending me messages from 3 different numbers, and he's using the word mammy. So y'all know there's only one person ever been on my channel that uses the word mammy. I mean, we know who this is, and he's upset because somebody doesn't want to debate him. I'll just go ahead and just let the cat out of the bag, just so y'all know who it is furthermore. But nevertheless, there you go. Tiffany Stratton comes in at 29. Tiffany Stratton had a good showing.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. So I just got to comment on this moment here, because I don't think we really touch the surface on what's going on here. How much more effective would this spot be if we didn't even have Jade Cargill in WWE? No appearance, no nothing, no talking, no confirmation that she's there, and she showed up. I agree. They crapped the bed on this one.
I agree.
And that's all the more infuriating, because she had been talking to different people, having backstage segments. She's already there, presence there. She just hadn't been in the ring. So to pull this, it was underway. This is more bad booking here. And for people that wanted to see it, you're going to make it more than what it is. But revisit the moment 5 years from now, you're going to see. No, I just don't mean you, Trevor. A lot more people.
With that back here. Yeah,
I think that it was.
They did what they did to create the buzz.
Yeah.
Not only but in WWE, but outside of WWE, it worked.
But you gotta give them something to make people because you've already revealed your cards. So this standing thing doesn't even work. because we already knew she was there. We already seen her on camera. We already seen her talk, and she hadn't wrestled all this time. She shows up. It wasn't a surprise. There's nothing to predicate this moment being that. And when you
But
don't
that's for
lock
us,
up,
though, Van Camp.
no, I'm just saying you gotta have them have a move or something spectacular happen to be like, oh my God. That's like with Ricochet and Logan Paul. They had a moment that was involving actual contact. People talk about that. These two women just stood and looked at each other. That's silly. That's not going to get it done. I think they could have done a lot more
We're
with this.
wrestling fans. You can't you have to exclude us from the situation. We're wrestling fans. You don't talk about us.
I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're
This
saying.
face off was not about me and you. This face off was about Pookie and Ray Ray and Bonquisha and all of them to make sure that they subscribe to Peacock to see what's gonna happen.
Look. I know you guys may think that I'm like anti this situation, but I actually want to see it. I actually want to be enthused to watch it. But I'm trying to tell you, this kind of made me like, I don't really care.
So when the match
wrong.
comes on at Mania, you gonna go get a sandwich or something?
Probably. I may have to.
And look at Chris.
Right.
Chris was there. So this somebody firsthand that was actually there. He says just seeing the two women face off had the crowd going wild. I'm telling you, that was the loudest reactions of the night. Was anything involving Jade?
So Trevor, you yourself criticized Jade for not having the ability to do things in the ring, and Bianca is suspect at times with her counting steps. So again, you could have had a move or something that was exciting that brought the people down, and that would have raised my eyebrow, and I would have wanted to see more here. I just feel like they didn't show anything. They didn't show anything, and now you're gonna have this match, and it might be a dud. I'm just saying.
They didn't have to show anything.
Okay.
They didn't have to show anything.
Tape machines are rolling. Let's revisit this moment.
They didn't have to show anything.
You're selfish.
I'm what? I'm selfish.
You're selfish, man. You only antiquating the spot based on your wants and your needs. But it's about more than just you, Vic. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen. Again, my wife sat and watched the entire Women's Rumble. That's who they're after. They don't care about us. That's who they're after. Women that look like that. The black girls. That's who they're after. With this, they're trying to grab that audience. I'm just saying. I mean, hey,
if this was Bret Hart, Macho Man, I have all faith in the world the match gonna come out good. You didn't give me a moment, and I know this match is 50-50 on if it's even gonna be decent.
Bret Hart.
It ain't gonna be Rhea Ripley Charlotte from last year. That's
C plus Bret Hart.
All right.
Tiffany Stratton came in at 29. That
was the second best showing. Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton is that chick, man. She's badass. Liv Morgan came in at number 30. She returned, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So you had to find Jade eliminated Becky and Naomi. Naomi lasted over an hour. Naomi looked terrible in the ring. I mean, I see she brought back the ass-based offense. She just
I was saying that the whole time, thinking about you always saying that, and I'm like, my God, she really is full ass.
She was just hamming it up, just nothing but booty-based offense. I'm like, oh.
But she was in there for a long time, and she was moving around. Like, a lot of people lay around Roman Reigns.
She was in for over an hour.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to give her some level of credit. She put in some work.
Nah, they clocked her at over an hour. That's what you get. Bailey, Jade, and Liv were the final three. Liv eliminated Jade with the oblivion from the apron. That looked good. And then Bailey eliminated Liv for the victory. Bailey lasted an hour and 3 minutes in the Rumble. This spot here was kept, man. I asked my wife, I'm like, man, how do they have that thing sewn in that they could just hang on this like this with no and it's not coming out. Like this was
But
crazy.
you did see the weave on the apron.
That
right?
wasn't hers though. That was from somebody else. That wasn't hers.
You think that was somebody else?
Yeah, that was somebody else's. That wasn't hers.
Okay.
That's that strong Black American hair.
Yeah. Because Tiffany Stratton is not a little girl, man. Like that's Tiffany Stratton is a bigger girl, and she's like, I mean, she's not Charlotte size, but she's a bigger girl, and this was just crazy. Bailey ended up winning the Rumble. I mean, I think the majority of the chat said Bailey was going to win the Rumble. That
was underwhelming too.
We knew that because I know what's coming. I mean, we're getting the hugger Bailey at WrestleMania. Mark my words. They'll probably turn on her probably before the Chamber, which I found out I'm not going to be able to watch the Elimination Chamber live either.
Oh my God!
Because we got something going on that night too, man.
Oh my goodness! What is up with this?
Hey man, this is the cost of having kids, man. You got to entertain those little jokers. So that was the Women's Rumble. I mean, to me, I thought the Women's Rumble was sloppy. I love you guys know I love the Jade spots. I loved Jordan Grace being in there. She had a good showing. Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez. But for me, the Women's Rumble just gets a 3. Mid card.
Yeah, to me, I give it a 4, man. I think the Women's Rumble is what held the show overall down. You know what I mean? Again, I agree with all the top players. We all expected Bailey to win, and that happened. Nia Jax, she did her thing. And that's why I'm perplexed as to like, okay, what position is Nia Jax gonna hold going into the road to WrestleMania? I'll be interested to see that. Again, some of the top people, Jordan Grace, heads and shoulders, in my opinion, above most of the women that was in there. You know what I'm saying? Jay, she did her thing. Hey, shout out to Chelsea Green, man.
Hey,
Chelsea Green,
man, Chelsea is awesome, man.
Yeah, I think they're about to push her. I don't know how, but I think they're about to push her.
When they kept ramming into her and she just kept doing the drunk legs, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Chelsea is awesome.
Yeah, I do want to respond to
you had some moments. You had some moments in the match. Go ahead.
I wanted to respond to Ricardo here because he's asking me about my thoughts on Becky. I don't have much thoughts on Becky because I just think that just overrated, overblown. I just don't think a person that skinny is really intimidating anybody.
She doesn't deserve a world title match at WrestleMania.
Skinny.
That's not. She don't.
Yeah, skinny. Yeah, it's just embarrassing. She should not be.
Have you seen look behind Becky? I'm talking about Becky. All right, whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Say it.
No, go ahead. I'm just. You call Bailey skinny?
No, Becky.
Oh, I thought. Okay,
Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah. Oh, good.
No.
I thought you said Bailey. I'm like skinny.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to agree with Trevor. I'm gonna go all in on the mid card here. Yeah, that's the best I could say. I like the fact that TNA champion, that women's champion, was in there. I like that. I wish that the Jade Bianca thing was better, but at least it happened. I guess it happened. And I like Bailey, but I felt like it was contrived and it didn't feel right. It just felt like, yep, this is going to happen. This is going to be, we're pushing this way, and that's it. Didn't feel like organic, I would say, even though this is wrestling. It just felt like so predetermined, and the ending of that just felt underwhelming to me. But I'll give it a mid card.
One more thing, if I'm gonna give a negative on it, the botch with Kairi Sane and Oscar, that was a botch. I don't care what nobody says.
Oh,
that kind of, I was like, huh? And you could see like basically her foot like touched before she tried to do the whole hanging on the apron thing. I was like, just get out the ring. It's over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, they botched that.
Yeah, had her like a little spider monkey trying to do her. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, wait, who is that? Chris says Venkat acknowledged Bailey's tribal cheeks. Absolutely, man. Bailey got cake. So Again, like I said, I thought the women's of all the women's Royal Rumbles, this was one of the weaker ones to me, just because it was too sloppy. So here's a quick thing. Here's a suggestion before we move on. What about Nia wrestling Jordynne Grace at WrestleMania for the TNA title?
That would be great, but I don't think they'll do that.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see that, man. My goodness, because you know, Nia would stiff the hell out of her.
I mean, I don't think now she's got the look, but I don't think she got the power like Jade do. I think Jade is naturally stronger than Jordynne Grace, but she definitely got the look. You know what I mean?
I got to see what Jordynne Grace used to look like before this, because I
put the picture in the group chat. What was that, yesterday or day before yesterday?
Okay. I got to go back and look then, because I've heard people talk about her saying that she used to be a looker, like Tony Schiavone used to love her, and then when I saw her, I'm like, ugh.
I mean, she was a chunk monk, but I mean, she looked better than she do now. You know what I
mean? Chunk monk. All right. So all right, so let's get into my least favorite match of the night. The WWE title match. And I'm gonna just say this, because I got zero note. I was so uninvested in this match, and I was looking forward to this so much. The biggest note that I took from this was I said Randy Orton is 270 pounds. WTF. I couldn't believe when they said he was 270. 270, man. And that finish looked brutal for AJ Styles, getting hung up on that rope like that.
That was a great finish.
I hope he's all right, man, because that looked disgusting, man. Like, that looked brutal.
That was great.
I mean, y'all got it, because I got nothing on this match. I just didn't like it.
Wait a minute, hold on, Trevor. Now, hold on. That Logan Paul and KO match, that was trash.
I love that.
That was straight trash. I was so unenthused with that match.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. It's the finish that I love. Because we always, man, we ain't even on that yet. Let's finish this one. I got nothing on this. Y'all got it. I didn't like it. I'm gonna give you my thing now. To me, this was a 2 to me. For the talent that was in this match. This match I should have been putting this in my match of the year folder, because of just strictly on talent. If I told you before we saw anything, hey, you're going to get a match with Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Roman Reigns, you're going to tell me, oh my God, that's going to be match of the year contender. Everybody's going to say that. What we got, I'm not even going to go watch it again. I would say that I probably had to watch it again because maybe I'm being too hard on it. I didn't like it. I did not like it. Randy looked hurt to me. LA Knight, to me, I love his character, but he's just a brawler, and they need to get the belt off of Roman. I mean, at this point, Roman and Rock don't need the title. They don't need the title at all. So y'all I'm done.
Yeah, I give it a 3, man. The match started off good psychology-wise with them ganging up on Roman, but then it just stopped. They gave Roman they gave him the LA Knight gave him his finisher. Then AJ Styles gave him a Styles Clash. Then that incredible RKO when Roman was going in for the Superman. That looked
that looked good. Yeah.
So the psychology of the match started off like good, but then it just stopped. I think it would have better served Roman if he would have just got brutalized and found some type of way to edge it out afterwards, like the solo spot. I'm
so tired of that, man. Just stop. Stop. I'm tired of it.
I think they did it too early.
He's won every single match that way with Solo,
right?
Every match.
Yeah, I mean, if you was gonna do it, like they should have wrecked Roman. Then I would have accepted, but they stopped doing what they were doing. You know what I mean? And that's my take. I give it a 3. I think it could have been better. The finish, again, it was okay. but I don't know. I don't know if it just felt rushed. I don't know, but they could have did a better job at how they were trying to go about the match in the early aspect of the match. Like I said again, when they started and they start beating up on Roman, that's how I thought the majority of the match was gonna go. But they just stopped doing it, and then Roman started doing this walking around, and I was like, yeah, this is 3.
But how much of Vince McMahon's dramas you think is affecting this show? You know, we talked about World's End when Jericho was in that match, you know, with his allegations and the way the crowd was acting, you know, maybe a vibe, a feeling, you know, did we feel like in the backstage, the wrestlers themselves, the people behind creative, you know, maybe everything didn't come together too well for them because of that controversy going on, or that's just the best they could do? Or
I think the execution was off. I get what you're saying, and you could use that as a crutch, but no, I think the execution was just not there.
Every time Roman Reigns wrestles, he's getting exposed, and it's sad because, you know, you got Paul Heyman. He's on Twitter proclaiming him to be the GOAT, and that's not GOAT status, man. That's not GOAT status at all. He is a liability in the ring.
Oh, jeez.
He is a liability.
You don't think Ric Flair was the GOAT either, though?
I think I could understand the reason why people say Ric Flair is, but the problem with Flair was the repetitive nature of his shtick. Had he branched out and did other things and not been so repetitive with the duration of time of his matches and his career, yeah, he would definitely be. Plus, he wrestled all the big names in wrestling, so he has that. But the problem is, when you see those Ric Flair matches, a lot of times they just go the same way. Like, I don't like Shawn Michaels, but I like Shawn Michaels. And when you look at Shawn Michaels, you see different things. And even the stuff that he goes through that are his bread and butter, he does it in a way that's creative and makes sense for the match. Flair, not so much. Flair, you know, this is a new thing. I've been, like, the last 2 years, I've been listening to a lot of Bret Hart, and Bret Hart makes a lot of sense in what he's been saying. And, you know, I can't be this blinded fan of Flair and not acknowledge, yeah, that's a problem. So, yeah. I think that Roman, you know, I would love to see Roman Reigns take that mantle and run with it hard, but this is not happening with him. This is probably the weakest champion in history. And weakest champion in history. I'm literally serious. Weakest champion in history. If you can't go out and defend the belt, and we know that some of that is medical, right? We know some of that is medical. He's the weakest champion in history, but they're bolstering him to be more than what he really is. You got to be real about this. Roman Reigns is not setting the world on fire. He's retaining the title because the guys that write the script are making that happen.
But he is, though.
He's not. He's not.
Let me ask you a question, Venkat. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If Turner didn't book Sting to win all those titles, you think he would have won them on his own?
I don't know about all that.
So what are we talking about then? I mean,
what we're talking about is
he's like the worst champion. They're booking him to be the champion, though. Like,
I think what you're talking about is completely different than the reality of what I'm talking about. When you look at Sting, look back of his matches with Cactus Jack, look back at his matches with Vader, look back at those high impact, intense matches, even the matches he had against Goldberg. They're entertaining. They go back and forth. The match he had with the Giant, Big Show. Those are big, lumbering guys. And usually those matches with those big giants, they're hard to watch. But with Sting, he's always been able to handle those matches and make them not only entertaining, but competitive looking. Whereas Roman Reigns isn't doing anything in that ring.
I just threw Sting out there as a name.
No, I'm just saying. To me, it's not even about the title. The title is whatever. I'm literally talking about, your presence in the ring, what you do in that ring, it means something. When you're sweating 1 minute into the match, you're going outside the ring, you're buying time, you're sitting on the apron having conversations with yourself. That's not legendary status. And then on top of that, you're going to book the guy that's doing all that as, oh, yeah, by the way, somebody has to run down, hit somebody, and then I win. So that's even worse. Like with Ric Flair, he would have the Horseman, and the Horseman would do that, right? But you can't deny when Ric Flair was in his matches, there were moments where Ric Flair, like, oh, he's shining. Roman don't have those moments. Roman is in jeopardy whether he's wrestling a YouTuber or he's wrestling a legend. It's the same rinse and repeat. I've said this before. He is not on legendary status. You got to wrestle more than 6 matches in a year to even breach that conversation.
Well, I don't even got a problem with the number of matches. I got a problem with the psychology in which you perform in the match.
Okay, but MD,
if you're gonna make an argument, if at least Ric Flair had that.
No,
at the very least,
Ric Flair wrestled the same match though. If you seen one Ric Flair match,
no.
You can't deny the psychology though. You can't.
But if you saw
that.
one Ric Flair match, you could set your watch by it, and you know what I'm talking, and you know it.
So in
I
sports,
think he's the best of all time though. So
no. In sports, what professionals can say they're staying at the top of their game, sitting on the sidelines for long durations of time? Even with wrestling, you still need to get in wrestling shape. That's a part of the problem, right? So when you say, oh, well, there's 365 days, he wrestles 6 matches, that's not that obviously is a problem with his, and again, this is probably medical because of his issue, right? But don't try to proclaim this guy as the second coming of God, and he hasn't even have the right to pee on the toilet of God. I mean, he is being forced down our throat as something great, and I wish he was. I wish that he really was that dude. He's not. But you gotta be able to. Basketball, you got to play basketball. You got to be in basketball shape. Football, that would be the same thing. Boxers, you have to spar or do something. You got to get in. Going up to a boxing match, you're not going to just jump in the ring. There's like months of training and preparation. Roman doesn't have that. He has 6 matches. Good night.
If I would have knew that was coming, I would have played this. We just heard the extended version of the soapbox from yours truly, Venkat.
That's right.
I mean, my goodness.
And I'm here twice on Sundays.
So, hold on, because we got another show to get to, so we got to get through this. So again, there's the RKO that MD was talking about. It was a sweet RKO. But at the end, I mean, same thing. Roman Reigns wins. So the next match you had the United, and Chris, I am going to answer your question about Brock Lesnar. Is coming up next after this. Next match we had the United States title match. Logan Paul versus KO. I like this match, but it disappointed me because I thought that I said it that this was going to be the sleeper of the night. This was going to be just balls to the wall. It did come out yesterday though that KO has a fractured foot, so that could have been the reason why he was.
Well, it was a sleeper of the night. I was definitely sleeping.
He was a little behind, and he looked a little slower than normal. The guy's working with a broken foot though. I didn't know that. I know the hand was kayfabe, but the foot is actually a legit injury. Logan Paul retains over KO. My favorite part of this was they bring the brass knuckles in. KO uses the brass knuckles, and we always criticize the referees for not seeing the brass knuckles. KO having a blonde moment, didn't tuck the brass knuckles, and the ref saw it and disqualified him. I just thought that was a clever finish. To me, the match was whatever. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. This was just, man, for me, I give this a 3.
Yeah, same for me. I give it a 3. It was running the mill to me. I think that they went a level down with the right hand with Logan Paul because he kicked out of it, and that's something we ain't seen. So I think we got a stoop lower of a level with that finisher now. And like I said, I'm over the whole Logan Paul thing now. I give the title of LA Knight and let's move forward. The
I think
person that came
Venkat brought that up last week. LA Knight being the one to take the belt from Logan Paul. If he did, that was a good thing. I don't know if he said it, but I think he did.
Yeah,
I said that, but I also heard other things about people saying that they feel LA Knight is beyond the U.S. title at this point.
No,
I don't know. I mean, he's been wrestling for the world title twice now. He's wrestled for the world title, so maybe he's bigger than the U.S. title at this point.
I don't see that. I don't see that.
So that I mean, come on.
He hasn't had a
LA
single
Knight is
championship
not good
at
in
all.
the ring, man. Yo, you got to admit
Yeah,
that.
but a lot of these guys are not good in the ring.
No,
Why LA Knight got to be put down?
We're talking
Like
about LA Knight, though. Don't hold on.
Stop moving the goalpost.
We're talking about LA Knight.
I don't know what we're saying.
And I know we needed that last night because MD asked
Stop
for
moving
it.
the goalpost.
Because you damn sure was moving the goalposts last night, Venkat. But we'll deal with that at a later
Not
time.
true.
We'll deal with
I
that.
mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, Van Cat, but still, like, you got to take consideration. This man is not held a single championship. You got to solidify him in some form of fashion. The U.S. title will do him good. You know what I'm saying? But like the whole Logan Paul thing, I'm over it. Like, I don't even know who that person was that came out and I was like, who is that? I don't know. And that goes back to your point. What we was talking about, Van Cat, as far as like the star potential and bringing other people in. Logan Paul brings a particular demographic of people in to watch it. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
I don't know KSI.
Yeah, I didn't know who the hell KSI was.
I'm like, I don't know these
people. But guess what,
you know
MD?
What
my daughter knew who it was. My daughter was like, that's KSI.
There you go.
I'm like,
because they watch the YouTube and they watch all them crazy videos. They know this stuff. We don't. You know what I mean? So there you go with the whole demographic thing. But yeah, it was run of the mill, man. I mean, I know a lot of people say they didn't like the finish with the disqualification. I ain't got no issue with it because I didn't expect Kevin Owens to win anyway. So, he didn't eat the pin. So there you go. You know what I mean? I ain't got no issue with it.
So let me get this straight. A match that was lackluster throughout, then had a suspect ending at the very end of the match. And that makes it good? I don't understand.
Who said it was good? We said it was mid.
Mid is good. Mid is good.
We said it was mid. Ain't nobody
I mean,
jumping.
Mid is good. What do you think?
It was mid for what it was. I mean, it was run of the mill. I mean, your standard match. I ain't got
the
no
match.
issue with
The
it.
match was boring. There were moments in that match where it was boring and it did drag.
But do you look at it different knowing that KO's foot is broken?
I don't think it was KO that was dragging it. He was doing offense. He was doing things. Logan Paul was not always there. And I was expecting more from him. I was expecting, maybe because all these moments of every time he would go in the ring, which isn't often, but when you do see him, there was something to write home about. And I think in this match in particular, he was just going through the most. He was doing Roman Reigns. I guess he feels like if it works for Roman, I could do it too. But it's disappointing because again, this is another guy. He has the ability. He's shown us he has the ability to do things, but in that match, he did not do it.
So what do you give this match? And Chris says that KO versus Logan Paul was terrible. He fell asleep, and he was in the building. I mean, so that's crazy. Oh, so Venkat give it a job. Like, why did I even ask him? I figured that's what it was going to be. The next thing, so they announced the attendance. The building was full. I know it was full, but the entire night they were saying 40,000, 40,000. And you know what? If they would have said 40,000 to me, I'd have been like, hey, fine. If they would have said 39,822, I would have been fine. But they go and announce 48,044 the entire night. They saying 40,000, 40,000. How the hell do they jump up a whole 8,000 when it comes time to? I don't understand why. The building was full. The building looked fantastic. I sent y'all videos from SmackDown. Y'all saw how full that building was. And they said it was like 8,700 in there according to WrestleTix. Because I did look that up. And it was the highest rated SmackDown since last year, as far as the demo number, and it did like a 0.7 in the demo. Shout out to me. Y'all should be sending me a check for that one. But it was a great SmackDown. But I don't know why they got to do that. I mean, 8,000 extra when if you would have said 40,000, it would have been just as good. Because listen, the team that plays in that building professionally can't get that many people in there. They couldn't get that many people in there for the World Series that they hosted twice. So, I mean, just saying 40,000 would have been good. That bothered me. And yeah, everybody's be, oh, you the WWE defender, blah, 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 blah. That bothered me because you've been counting 40,000 the entire night. And when it comes time to read the number, 48,044. Come on, man, get out of here.
So this is another WrestleMania 3 moment?
Hey, I wasn't there, brother.
Hey, that's a huge field to play baseball in. That field is huge.
And in that market that don't get no, they don't draw at all. Hey man, shout out to the double digit watchers in the building. Hey, listen, man, Straight Talk Society is where it at. Y'all make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you feel inclined, there is a link pinned to the top of the chat that you could join the membership of this channel for $1.99 a month. And it's just your way of putting something in the tip jar and saying thank you for all the content that we bring. And like I said, the debut of 5 Rounds with the MMA Brothers will take place next Saturday. Bones and Zay will be taking care of that. The real reason why I didn't debut this Saturday is because I want them to do their own presentations. So I could have just done it for them, but I want to teach Bones how to do it so he can just do them from now on, and they don't have to rely on me. So they could completely run that show by themselves. Shout out to Mango Mike in the building. But yeah, it was see again, because everybody said that I'm the WWE guy, but I can say when things are bad. Here's another thing I'm gonna say that's bad lately, because you guys know how heavy I want to do these review shows. In light of the Vince McMahon stuff, there's one wrestling match that I'm gonna do a video on, probably release it next week. I'm gonna review No Mercy 2003. Not the entire show, just Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon. That match could have been the sickest thing in the world, and we should have known. Watching that match, what we know now, all I can say is we should have known. But you know, that'll be coming out next week sometime. But we go back and I look at all these old shows, these old Starcades that Venkat used to romanticize about, that I used to borrow his Starcade videos 3 at a time so I could record them and stack VCRs. Those shows were terrible. Those wrestling has more duds than it has hits. Like a lot of the stuff is not good.
I agree.
Hey, Triple H shocked the hell out of me when he said, man, y'all romanticize the Attitude Era. He said a lot of that stuff stunk. And it's true. But so Chris did ask a question, and I do want to get on to it. So he says, how you feel about Brock Lesnar being replaced until further notice? So y'all know I'm always on that. So a story, okay, so yeah, so a story came out, and this comes from, who did this come from? So I give them their credit, PW Insider. And it says Brock Lesnar withdrawn from WWE Royal Rumble event after Vince McMahon lawsuit controversy. The latest on Brock Lesnar ahead of the Royal Rumble. As of this morning, so we're talking about Friday, Lesnar has not traveled to Florida for the event. The word making the rounds at last night's SmackDown was that Lesnar, who was on one point slated to return for WrestleMania season would not be at the pay-per-view. The terminology one source used was that Lesnar has been withdrawn from tonight's event, and the belief was that WWE NXT talent would be used to replace Lesnar. We know that ended up being Braun Breaker, which to me was better. Belief is that under the old regime, Vince would have used Lesnar no matter what, but TKO steering the ship. They are going to be far more aware of how a Lesnar appearance would come off to the public at this juncture. Tony Khan don't care about that, but that comes from PW Insider. So Brock Lesnar was pulled. Everybody knows the rumored match was Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. They were going to set it up that night. They pulled him, so plans change, which might be for the better, because if I get a Gunther versus Braun Breaker, sign me up for that 100 times till Sunday, because that'll be a whole hell of a lot better, because Braun Breaker is awesome. But what do you guys think about them pulling Lesnar?
Yeah, it was the right thing to do, and I think it was inevitable, even if Vince would have still been there behind the scenes. The reason being is because of that Slim Jim advertisement.
Yes,
Slim Jim pulled out.
Yes,
I don't care what you think the right thing to do is. Once Slim Jim pulled out, you better do whatever you need to do in order to get Slim Jim back, and that's what they did. You know what I mean? So with Brock being implicated in that, they had to do that. Now, from what I read that Braun was going to be in the Rumble regardless. What happened was that Braun took Brock Lesnar's spots in the Rumble. So everything,
number 19 spot or whatever number you
yeah. So basically everything that Braun Breaker did in the Rumble, Brock Lesnar was supposed to do. You know what I mean?
That's why they did that with McAfee thing. That's why they did.
Right. And you know, reports also came out that Pat McAfee said he didn't know anything about nothing. He said all he knew that his music started playing and he just reacted. You know what I mean?
I heard him say that on Raw last night, and I was like, damn, is that real? Yeah, he said it on Raw last night.
So, you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much everything Braun Breaker did, Brock was supposed to do. And yeah, I you know, it didn't matter who was gonna be there. Once Slim Jim pulled out, they didn't have no choice but to get rid of him.
So do we see Brock Lesnar again? I say no.
No, because the advertiser's not gonna allow it. Screw what TKO or WWE want.
Hey,
Slim Jim don't want it.
Hey, you know what's funny though? Because I mean, and y'all stay tuned. Once we go over the Royal Rumble, we're gonna shut down and start back up, and we're gonna do the Vince McMahon thing. That's why I'm trying to speed through this. But in the lawsuit, they name a former UFC champion that was renegotiating, but they wouldn't say him by name. Everybody knows who they were talking about, but here I am. I'm like, man, I would have just said he was talking about Cain Velasquez. That's former UFC champion.
God damn.
I would have just said Cain Velasquez.
Exactly. That's what I thought the whole time.
Oh, yeah, right.
That is what Cain Velasquez was in WWE.
Yeah.
He wrestled Brock in UFC and WWE.
That's why I would have said
but he, I don't know. He didn't win the WWE title.
No, that's where they got him, because they said former champion.
Yeah.
But that's what
I believe they said 2019. I believe they said 2019.
Yeah, 2020, because I remember when he came
2020.
back.
Yeah. So
let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. So we could do all the raping and different things of that nature, and Vince McMahon can come back. Nobody gets banned. But the moment Slim Jim says we are taking our money and going home, within hours of the Royal Rumble, they made these decisions because Slim Jim was gone before Royal Rumble started. And then they made the adjustment, and then no Brock Lesnar. So within hours,
1 second, real quick, Venkat, we're going to get onto the Slim Jim on the Vince McMahon show.
Okay.
It's on there. It's on the docket. But just to your point on that, and I just say this one thing. Everything that's ever happened in WWE history, who was in charge is still. This is the first time that Vince wasn't in charge.
Right.
So that's my only thing to it. I agree with what you're saying, but That's the only thing, because I feel like if Vince was still in charge, Brock Lesnar still would have been on this show. Hell, Vince would have still been on the show.
So you telling me they would have said screw the advertisement money? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, because Vince McMahon thinks he's bigger than life itself. Absolutely.
I disagree with that.
Absolutely.
Come on,
Slim Jim was
seen
on
it.
like
You've seen it.
2/3 of the show.
I don't know. You've seen examples of Vince McMahon and
Chris,
what he thinks like.
We gonna get to it as soon as we wrap this one up, man. We gonna get to it. All right, but that is the Brock Lesnar, and I do touch on it more in the next one. So let's get into the men's Royal Rumble. To start off that Royal Rumble, number one was Jey Uso. They did the demolition spot from 1990 where Jimmy Uso came out as number two. Jey Uso, Chris, I posted a video from SmackDown where everybody was doing the hands up thing. When Jey Uso came out, was the crowd electric when he does that? Because I'm saying that might be the most over thing in wrestling, when that guy stands on that rope and does that hands up thing. Because I got a video where 8,000 white people was just losing their mind.
What the hell does yeet mean?
I don't know. I gotta ask my daughter. My daughter will tell you, because she was like, yeet. I said, what does that mean? And she uses it. She'll be like, hey, he yeeted him. I said, hey, what does that mean? Stop talking crazy. What does that even mean? It's a kid thing, man. We curmudgeon old men now. Jimmy Uso came out at number 2. Grayson Waller was 3. The returning Andrade, I was happy to see him, was number 4. And Carmelo Hayes was number 5. So I just wanted to go over the top 5 entrants. And then in no particular order, Cody Rhodes came out at 15. I had a problem with that. I did have a problem with Cody coming out at 15, because if they were going to have Cody win, he didn't have to come out at 1. Venkat talked me off that ledge last week. I agree. He didn't have to come out at 1. Don't come out halfway through. You know why? Because when he comes out halfway through, I don't want to hear the announcers saying, oh, Cody's been in this match for over 35 minutes. I don't want to hear that. That should only matter for the guy that's came in like in the top 5, where you're putting the emphasis on their time. Oh, speaking of time, I didn't notice this in the women's match, but in the men's match, they specifically said 90-second intervals. Maybe they did it in the women's one too, but 90 seconds. And I'm gonna tell you, I love the 90 seconds versus the 2 minutes. Shave some time off of it. Gunther came in at number 18. At number 20 was Braun Breaker, and I just put cutting niggas in half because he just came in just on fire, just tearing everybody up. Omos came in at 21, CM Punk number 27, Drew at 29, and MD's pick at number 30, Sami Zayn. Gunther eliminates Jey Uso at the 50-minute, 50-second mark. So maybe they're gonna do a Jey Uso Gunther, who knows? Drew eliminated Sami. Sami looked awful in that match. The final 4 was Punk, Cody, Drew, and Gunther. CM Punk eliminates Drew. Cody eliminates Gunther. Gunther and CM Punk are the final 2. They wrestle for about 6 minutes. Both men trade crossroads, GTSs, and pedigrees. Cody finally gets Punk out to become back-to-back Royal Rumble winner. I thought the match that Cody and Gunther had was a nice little match. Reminded me of Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Not as good, but it reminded me of it. And then the news came out, CM Punk tore his tricep, so he's out for 4 months. So what y'all had on this Rumble?
Well, I think that if you're gonna have Cody Rhodes and CM Punk at the end of this Royal Rumble, why the hell are they doing a promo a week or 2 before Royal Rumble? I thought that was kind of odd that, oh my God, we're going to do this right here now? Like they're having this big back and forth on Raw, and then on the Royal Rumble, they're the last 2. I just thought that was kind of silly. Get away from that and just have it would have been better had they not even interacted and that just happened. I like the final 4. I like the way that was, just looking at all four participants remaining, it looked epic. But I just thought that was just odd that, they're doing a promo against each other, and then they ultimately are the last two in there. I just thought that was kind of lackluster.
Hey, Venkat, let me answer Chris real quick because he's saying he wanted to ask me about Trick Williams from Friday. Chris, for whatever reason, my Trick Williams video didn't record the way I wanted. When his first chord of his music hit, that place, the roof blew off that building when they start singing "Whoop That Trick." I was so happy because I didn't think anybody knew who he was. Everybody knew who he was. I was shocked he wasn't in the Royal Rumble though. I think was a missed opportunity, but I get it because he's wrestling Ilya next weekend, so I guess that's why they wanted to. But that would have been better reason to put him in. But yeah, his reaction that night at SmackDown was tremendous. It's just that my video didn't record good. So Venkat, you were okay with the Final Four?
Yeah, I like the Final Four. I thought it was great, and I thought, looking at that Final Four, like, okay, anybody in this four could win it. Everybody in this four has a reason to win it. Am I a fan of Cody Rhodes winning it again? No, I'm not really, but I'm okay with it, I guess. But I'm not a fan of it. I wish that it would have been something else. I don't think that CM Punk needs to win the Royal Rumble, because now we're setting this weird precedent that if you come from AEW, you're going to win the very next Royal Rumble. That just doesn't make sense. But ultimately, I like that Final Four. The men's Royal Rumble overall, again, that's a mid card for me. And I would say, as much problems as I had with the women, I thought the women had more moments, more spots that you could single out, whereas the men were just like kind of at times were just kind of just trying to get to the next entrance, and then once it got down to that Final Four, that's when they settled in on something they wanted to do. But they just were trying to get there. Whereas the women had moments that you could, like, okay, that's interesting. That's very good. That's a surprise. That's the other thing too. In the men's Royal Rumble, not a major surprise or anything really shocking as far as any entrance, but I give it a mid card.
I hate the fact that I agree with you. Like,
every week you keep saying that.
No, I hate the fact because, and you know what they did that I didn't like too? They telegraphed Cody winning. My pick was Drew, but they kept saying, "Oh, it's been 26 years since we had back-to-back winners. It's been 26 years since we had back-to-back winner." They kept saying that. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, man." And then when it came down to the final two, I'm like, "Man, are they really going to put this on Punk?" They don't need to put it on Punk because he's already got his path to Seth. I mean, we know at the end what happened, but MD, I see.
Trevor, I knew that CM Punk was going to lose the moment CM Punk said, "I'm not going to lose to a Rhodes," or something like that to that effect. Once he said that, I was like, "Oh crap, he's going to lose." I knew it right then and there when he said that.
I thought, see, to me, the women's match was sloppy, but I wholeheartedly agree with Venkat when he said it just felt like they were waiting just for the next entry. And I think that's what this whole show was. They was just waiting to get to the next spot. There was nothing epic about this. Nothing ever just jumped out and was like, "Oh crap." And somebody, I think it was Chris, said that Ricochet should have been in Andrade's spot. Yeah, you should have had Ricochet early in the match so he could bring some excitement. The match was just like plodding and boring to me. I mean, y'all know I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan, and I mean, hey, I agree with Nurburgring saying if Cody doesn't win this year, WWE is psychotic. Cody needs to get that belt off of Roman ASAP. He said he'll be at SmackDown. What I want is for him to challenge him Friday night on SmackDown and just take the damn belt from him then and just not have to deal with it. MD, what was your thoughts on this Rumble?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I guess I was just optimistic about the show overall. if I go back to the end of the match, no, I didn't want Cody and CM Punk to be there. But the sequence of them two and the time that they were given was great. That's what I believe. I thought Drew should have won. Once I seen Sami Zayn, I said, "Yeah, it's a wrap." So throughout the whole entire, I was like, "Where's Sami Zayn?" And they put him out on 30. I said, "Yeah, it's a wrap." They go my pick. You know what I mean? It was good to see Andrade come back. I guess the overall flow to me was pretty good. Maybe it had something to do with the 90 seconds, but the flow was great to me in terms of how the entrance came in. Like I said, what made it over the top for me and why I'm giving it a 4 is because the sequence at the end. Do I agree with the two that did it? No, but the sequence was good all on its own. And with Drew, if I'm gonna follow it with Raw, Drew, they got to make Drew the top heel on Raw. That promo he
That
cut
promo,
on
oh
CM
my
Punk,
God.
that was fire.
Did you see what he put on Twitter?
No, I ain't see that.
Oh,
Nah.
I gotta send you the picture. I wish I had it so I could just post it up now. Just look up Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. He put a picture on Twitter of him standing over a headstone. He photoshopped his head on a tombstone that says CM Punk WWE return 2024 to 2024. Like it was just, I'm like, man. Yo,
I mean, he's not lying.
Yo,
he's not lying. Your first match, you get injured. What is again? This guy's older, and he got injured in TNA. I'm sorry, he got injured in AEW. He's getting injured here very early. He hadn't even done anything. As far as I know, he had the one match with Dominic that was a non-televised match, and now this is his very first match back. All he did was had that Survivor Series moment where he just stood there looking at the crowd, and it's the second coming of Christ. Except he got hurt again, and he's gone. Good night.
So did he get? I remember they showed it on Raw, but I'm trying to remember. He got injured on the Future Shock, right?
Yeah, here's where he got hurt. He got hurt on the Future Shock DDT right here.
Yeah.
He's his elbow jammed into the mat and tore his tricep. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, surely accidental. It ain't like Drew go out there and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put him out."
Oh, we taking these niggas out. And a great name, by the way, Future Shock. Stargate 89, Future Shock.
But I do have this. CM Punk may have finished up runner-up on Saturday's Royal Rumble, but he didn't leave Tropicana Field unscathed. This comes from Dave Meltzer, so take whatever you want from it. He didn't leave Tropicana Field unscathed and is reportedly expected to be out of action for quite some time, according to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer. Punk suffered a significant injury in the men's Royal Rumble match, though WWE did not confirm. Meanwhile, PW Insider reported that Punk, who entered the match at 27, suffered a torn triceps, and it was confirmed on Monday Night Raw. The same injury he suffered against Jon Moxley at AEW All Out 2022. I didn't know he had that injury already. The injury is believed to have occurred when Punk took a Future Shock DDT from Drew, after which Punk rolled out of the ring holding his left arm. Per Dave Meltzer, a referee checked on him. Punk said, "My tricep." Fightful Select also confirmed the reports of a tricep injury, but noted that Cody Rhodes' win was always planned and not an audible, because some people were thinking that Punk, they just pivoted. PW Insider sources say that the injury will require surgery, after which Punk will need 4 to 6 months. Oh my goodness. The timeline will obviously take Punk out of any planned match for WrestleMania. According to Meltzer, Punk was set to face the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins at the event. As of this writing, it has not been reported if Punk was set to win the Elimination Chamber next month to get a shot at Rollins. Punk will reportedly be at Raw. So he was at Raw Monday, and Drew came out and did the ultimate line. Drew said, "I prayed for this moment." No, Drew said, "I prayed for you." That's what he said. And then Punk looking at him all, and then he was like, "I prayed that this would happen to you, that you would get hurt." I'm like, oh man. Hey, yeah, they gotta make Drew. The same way they should have made Jinder for hurting Seth. they could put the gas behind Drew. I don't know what his contract thing is, but they got to re-sign him because now you got Punk hurt, you got Seth hurt, you got KO hurt. Roman never shows up. I mean, they can go pretty deep in the bench because this is time you could fire up LA Knight, you could fire up AJ Styles, but I don't know.
So I'm saying, so do you go Drew and Seth at WrestleMania for the third time?
Seth is talking like he's going to be there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm assuming that he's going to be at WrestleMania. That's the only reason I said.
What kind of match could you get out of him though?
I have no idea. I don't know.
But that promo Monday, with Seth and Cody was just to probably put some gas behind Seth, where he was telling them, "Please pick me," because we got the For Us By Us title. Like, man, if you was going to saddle something with a terrible gimmick, don't saddle it with FUBU. But yeah, Cody is going after Roman. I mean, he said it at the Rumble when at the end of it, when they both were there. That was a good shot where he looked up at Roman and was like, "I'm coming for you." I mean, I thought it was settled then. I don't know. He's talking about he'll let Seth know. There's no reason to prolong it, Les. We know who you're going after. The only thing I want to know is where does The Rock figure in?
Who said The Rock is going to figure in? Maybe he can't be there.
No, what I heard is The Rock and Roman are going to be at Elimination Chamber.
Which is ridiculous.
He can't make WrestleMania. It would have to wait till next year.
That's ridiculous.
They're gonna do it in Perth.
Yeah, that's silly. That's so silly. I don't want to see Roman and Cody again. Like, I really was hoping. I would have rather seen CM Punk and Roman. Just give me a fresh matchup situation here. That was not what.
They wrestled one time, Venkat.
Who?
Cody and Roman.
Yeah, one time too many at WrestleMania. I don't need to see it again. I want to see the next big match. I don't want to see a rehash of last year. I'm done with that. Give us fresh, exciting matchup. That's why I was happy to see The Rock possibly fighting Roman, but that ain't gonna happen.
All right, final thoughts on the Rumble. I can't give it more than a 3. Just me and
again, I got beat up last week for saying mid. These tape machines are rolling. Okay,
you were saying it without seeing one damn match. At least I was saying
that's called a prediction.
Man, whatever. I give it a 3. I give it a 3.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, you know what I'm giving it. I'm giving it a 3. Almost a 2.
I thought you was gonna give it a 2.
Almost a 2, but I mean, I can live with it. This isn't World's End, so that already infinitely is better. World's End is like the bar for trash. I'm putting that down. So yeah, we get a 3 on that one.
MD.
I give it a 4, man. I like I said, I guess it's just optimism in my view. You know, the both
Rumbles. What was so good about it to you, MD?
The moments were great to me. Like I said, in the men's, the last sequence with Punk and Cody was great to me. It was great. I don't like the people that did it, but the sequence was great. And the moments in the women's Rumble,
that little wrestling match was a great wrestling match.
Yeah. And the moments in the women's Rumble, in my opinion, were what took it over. Like it carried the pay-per-view. So in that aspect, that's why I gave both Rumbles a 4. And the matches in between were mid. So if I'm gonna average it, I'm gonna say 4 based on the Rumbles. But that's just me being optimistic in my perspective. I liked it. You know, I liked it, especially the women's match. I liked it.
All right.
We're gonna see how MD feels on the next one. Is it the Elimination Chamber or is it something else?
I think it's Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it's Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, 224. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah, I forgot. R-Truth did make it to the R-Truth did. Hey, that's what I was gonna ask. Why was Damian Priest in that match? Okay, so we gotta go, but
Yeah, that's ridiculous because he has the money in the bank. I thought the same
last thing
thing.
I gotta say, why was Damian Priest in that match? And I've never watched the Royal Rumble where the loser of the world title match didn't come back in the Rumble. You had no AJ Styles, no LA Knight, and no Randy Orton. I would have liked to see one of them in there.
That would have been good.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've never seen them. Every Rumble I've ever watched, whoever lost the world title match came back to the Rumble later.
Yeah, that R2 spot was great.
Yeah, R2 is
the hot tag. Hey man, hey, you can't make that up, man. That's quality TV.
Yeah.
Quality.
And to see them not and I mean, I know we didn't go over the weekly TV, man, but one match from Monday Night Raw that I do suggest for everybody to go watch is DIY versus Judgment Day. That was great.
That was great. Yeah,
that was great, man.
Yeah,
DIY. I'm so glad they finally got the crowd into it. I would have loved to see them take those belts because they had actually been winning some matches. I mean, it wouldn't have hurt to take the belts off of Judgment Day for about a month or so, but we'll see, we'll see where it goes. But so this is what we're gonna do. Royal Rumble's done. This is part one of the doubleheader. I'm gonna shut this down, and we're gonna be gone for about 5 minutes, and we're gonna start up the Vince McMahon show. Just a trigger warning for everybody right now. Anybody who doesn't like and we are not going to use the R word. The R word will be used as grape, SA,
too late,
and a lot of allegedly, because I already got threats of my channel being flagged. So I'm not using those
Hey, Trevor, real quick, a couple things. First, there was a rumor that was kind of confirmed that they were looking to put Dominic Mysterio in the program with Brock Lesnar, and that was possibly gonna like you see how Dominic eliminated Braun Breaker. That was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. So, that's horrible. That is so bad.
Everything that Braun Breaker did, Brock was supposed to do, even down to the elimination. So that was supposed to be Dominic Mysterio eliminating Brock Lesnar.
Well, you the only one that don't like Dirty Dom.
That would have added to the aura of the heat magnet that is Dominic Mysterio, even with a person like Brock Lesnar.
Van Cat, the only person don't think he a heat magnet. Dominic Mysterio is
he's a magnet for Vince McMahon special.
He was my breakout wrestler of the year last year, Dominic Mysterio. Y'all wouldn't let him make it on the polls, but
because he's trash.
He was. So, but again, we getting ready to do the Vince McMahon
show.
Hold
on. And one more thing.
Man, won't let me go, man.
So MD is the political prophet amongst men. Mm-hmm. So that means I'm the wrestling prophet amongst men. Because I just keep getting these things right. But whatever.
Hey, there you go. You have been divinely sent. I got you.
Hey, Van Cat, because it's mainly for you. Try your hardest not to use the R word. Just say grape. Just don't do it. Just don't.
Too late. I mean, I said it earlier, like an hour ago.
I know. When you didn't see the look on my damn face. Every time I'm watching Tape Fist Politics, I'm watching the show like this. I'm like, man. Yeah, but and boy, heavy on the allegedly, because I know. But anyway, because I had a woman reach out to me and ask me, are we going to do the Vince McMahon show? So we're getting ready to do the Vince McMahon show now. We're going to shut down, restart it. I do have the 67-page deposition. I'm not reading the whole thing. I got a couple of pages that I want to read specifically off of it. If the other guys wants pages read off of it, we do have the text messages, and we're just going to go through it. Hopefully we don't be here all night, but we'll see how it goes. So peace to everybody for coming through. Hey, give us like 5 minutes. We're going to start the next one right up.
All right.
See y'all on the other side.
All right. Peace. Oh, man, where's the outro here? Now, you think I have this stuff already set. Y'all bear with me. I got so many things in the studio. Okay, here we go. All right, we'll be right back.
And the bitch
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep in the shit.
Brother, I'm gonna take you home.
What?
You're gonna be mine. The belt will be mine. The world will be mine. Somebody.